Hello, good morning. You are watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Abalde. Thank you very much for always following this program wherever you are. And we're sending love and likes to all our viewers from around the world. The likes of Ibrahim Ajawara in the United States of America. He follows this program and also contributes on our page as well. So thank you very much for always following. And I'm with Julde Njai. Good morning, Julde. How are you doing?
Good morning, Ibrahim. Good morning to our viewers and to our newspaper review guest. It's always good to be back.
Yes, it's good to be back, and Julde, to share the platform with you. Today on our running order, we'll be reviewing the newspaper with James Bahum. Good morning, Mr. Bahum.
Good morning, Julie.
It's good to have you here.
It's been a while indeed.
Yes, it's been a while. I think is this the second or third time?
Well,
you coming on this program?
This would make it the third time.
The third time.
The first was the inaugural launch of the program itself with Mr. Drame.
Yes.
And then, of course, I had one with you. And so this one really is the third one.
Exactly. So, I mean, we are very happy that you've accepted our request to come and review these papers with us. And later on the program, we'll be talking to Ami Sise, Senior Marketing Manager, QCell. We'll be talking about the services that QCell is, giving the general public. As you know, QCell is known for innovation. I mean, the way we communicate in this country, I mean, making innovation reach every doorstep. So, Ami Sise would be here with Momodu Bari from Sales Department of QCell. And COPS Africa, Gambia Youth at the Heart of Development. We'll be engaging them on some of their projects as well. So, on that note, we will take a look at the African code. Mr. Baum, what we do on this program, we start with an African code. We see how to interpret the code. We read out the code, then we interpret it for our viewers. And this one reads, until the rotten tooth is extracted, the mouth must chew with caution. Until the rotten tooth is extracted, the mouth must chew with caution.
You know, with proverbs, Africans are all over the continent. It's a way of communicating across a broad spectrum, and people tend to understand what it says. If you are a fan of African writers, in the person of one in particular, and the doyen really, Chinua Achebe.
Chinua Achebe, yeah.
And you remember the things fall apart, and the very many proverbs that he used to explain their own current, at the time, existing circumstances under colonialism and so forth and so on. You will know that we are full of proverbs. This one could be seen in the same genre as, it could be diversely interpreted, of course. Different people will interpret it in different ways. But for me, the way I see it, and how I want to interpret it, it comes in the genre of what another very famous proverb, which says, if something is going to go bad, it starts from the head. And until you cut off the head, in the case of the extraction of the tooth in your own proverb, nothing will go right. So you
move on, one, or to find a lasting solution to that particular problem.
Indeed.
But once that, that problem exists, no matter how much you tried to remove it, it is always there. So I think extracting the rotten tooth in this case means that when you have bad elements in your life, you remove them. When you're confronted with a situation, critically take time to critically assess this situation, know where the cause of the problem is and know what the problem is exactly, and handle it amicably. If not, you will always, that problem will always come back because you have not resolved it the first time. So I think it's very, very important really, whether in our lives, whether in institutions, government, whenever an issue arises, it's very important to actually look at things holistically to be able to find a lasting solution to it. But oftentimes, I mean, we are so emotional as individuals. When things happen, we just tend to resolve it based on emotions rather than looking at the problem itself holistically and coming up with a lasting solution. So I think, yeah, for me, that's it.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a good interpretation there. But it's, for me, my interpretation is telling me you have to manage certain situations until when the time is right. When the time is right, you know, there'll be a solution. So remember, it is telling you you have to chew with caution. You understand? Until when the bad tooth is extracted. You understand? So it means the bad tooth is still there, but still you have to chew with caution because the time is not right for you to extract that tooth. You understand? So it's how you handle situations. You know, you don't handle situations with anger.
Right.
You know, if you chew without caution at some point, you know, you might affect yourself because the bad tooth is still there. So it's handling situations, how to manage situations when the right time comes. That's
indeed,
what I.
Indeed. And this is the beauty of proverbs and literature in general, that every individual interprets it in the context in which he sees it. And I was a teacher of literature for 2 years at St. Augustine's.
Oh, wow.
At some point in my life. And I was absolutely, you know, I loved literature. I loved reading. And when we were introduced to African writers, Achebes, the Ngugi wa Thiong'os, and who incidentally finally decided he was not going to write in English anymore. He was going to write in Kikuyu. So all of these things inspired us growing up at the tail end of colonialism and indeed the beginning of independence. So we were all very happy about this. So proverbs continue to play an important part in society generally.
Right.
And sometimes when the elders want to speak to you, they use proverbs. And every day we hear our parents, our grandparents, using these things, these voices, these sentences, these very powerful, emotive symbols of society to teach us new lessons. And I think they have played a significant role in our society and continue to do so.
True.
And I long for a time when they will catalog all these things into a big series of volumes that children can learn from.
True.
Isn't it fading away now?
That's my fear, you see. Incidentally, I worked for a project called MSDG, and it's a diaspora-based Professor Fall. And we did a series of projects. One included, it may not be the same as proverbs, but it's lullabies, the ones we grew up with when we were young. And there was a reinterpretation of some of these done by Kumba Kuyate, a well-known diasporan-based singer, and Amisheri as well, who of some future fame here in Gambia. And we compiled this into, I think it was 16 pieces of, both in Mandinka and Wolof. And it's now being used in the schools through the patronage of our newly minted OBE, Mr. Jog Malik Jeng of Yaram Arts. And together with MSDG, we completed this very important project, which is now being used in schools in the United Kingdom and in universities across the world. So again, another very important use of cultural nuances that have come to define our lives, but also teach us lessons of the past and give us inspiration to go forward.
Nice. Wow.
All right. I mean, let's now move on to the newspaper review. We have the Standards newspaper. Chaos at Kanifing as court remands 23 protesters. I mean, it's not a new thing. I mean, we've been hearing and seeing a lot of things happening on social media. But Mr. Bob, let's start with you know, the beginning of the incident. I mean, I just want to establish that legal rights that these young people have and the rights that they don't have. At some point, authorities were telling them, you don't have the right without getting a permit. And some of them were telling these authorities too, okay, we have the right to come and gather, but we don't. We are not using a PA system. So I mean, we have given the right to gather. Is that so?
To a large extent, yes, that is the case. But first of all, I just want to make a point. The application under the rules, Public Order Act, is a colonial rule. It's a colonial law. And it remained after independence and applied selectively in the First Republic, but at some point to devastating effect on individual opposition elements. And it appears that this is the same thing happening today as I speak, that the right to protest is a right enshrined in law, and the responsibility of the authorities is not only to protect the other people who are not engaged in that protest, but to protect, in fact, those who are the agitators or the organizers of such protests. That is the reason why they need to inform the authorities that we are going to take such and such action at such and such place, at such and such time, to protest such and such. And the only period at which they are denied that kind of right, if there are serious public safety issues and security issues. And until they can prove that the situation when these people applied was so terribly dangerous, there was no need to deny them the right to permit, to get a permit to protest. And I think the last time that there was non-interference from the PIU, the kids went out, or the boys went out, the young people went out, they protested, they made their point, they delivered their petitions, and it was peaceful for the first time, simply because there was no intervention by the PIU or any other security authority. Because, and be careful, note that at any time that there is disruption and violence and unruly behavior, it's when the police intervene to stop them demonstrating, but also expressing their grievance.
That's right.
Which they have a right to do. So I've had this discussion with friends and other people, and I think the best way really to do is to manage these things. It's not to be too heavy-handed about it. Today I am sitting here, and one of the youngsters that fought tooth and nail during the struggle whilst we were in the UK, leading the international attack on Jammeh and the dictatorship, is today languishing in Mile 2.
In Mile 2.
Flex Dan, the most active of activists. And activists have a place in our society. You cannot just have everybody kowtow to the authorities and say, oh yes, okay, whatever you say goes. That is not democracy. In fact, the authorities must be pleased that there are Gambians who care about their country so much that they may raise the storm of protest, but only to draw attention to issues that concerns their well-being, their welfare, but also their prospects in a society.
So we talk about the Gambia being a democratic country now since we ushered Jammeh out. What will this do to the democracy?
Well, whenever there is clashes between the authorities and the people, it does not bode well for either party. It does not edify the government, neither does it make the protesters less willing to go out. They will come out again. Because that's in the nature of politics and democracy. Now, what it will mean for government, I always prefer that there is dialogue. Because through dialogue you can achieve, many things that would be denied if you are, confrontational like that. But I think we also have to understand that we are going through a period very difficult. People tend to ignore the fact that the legacies of 22 years of dictatorship still haunts us in so many different ways. We claim to be democratic today, but it's relative. What is democracy?
That's right.
And, who tells me that having elections every 5 years is democratic? Or that's what democracy is all about. Democracy is about individual freedoms, but also responsibility of government to protect those freedoms. Within the confines of law, a Gambian citizen has the right to go and stand out in the open and say to his government, I don't like what you've done. It's as simple as that. If that single act by an individual citizen is seen by the government as an attack on him, or that they are being critical of the government's behavior, fine, that's what democracy says. But I'm saying they must look beyond that and look at the opportunities that such an outcry can bring in fostering an better understanding between the government and its people. And I think that's where we need to be.
And one would have thought that the last protest was a learning curve for the members of the security, for the fact that the first one, they've seen how it turned out to be. It was chaotic to an extent that almost, half of the senior government officials were at Westfield to negotiate with these youngsters to actually find a lasting peace and solution. But again, we've seen that happening again. It's only a few young people who were at Pura, to tender a petition. But again, they were met with security officers with arrest, and some of them claimed that they were not even part of the protesters. They were just going about their business. But again, they were arresting anyone and anybody that they found within the premises of Pura. And that same thing applied yesterday. Those that were going to Banjul, according to Kemo, for instance, he said that he was going to meet some of these National Assembly members to find answers, to some of these laws, because they are the lawmakers. So I think the proverb here is apt for the fact that what is the rotten truth here? It's the colonial era law, which is the 1963 law.
Yes.
It has to be removed. It is not in line with democratic principles and standards.
It's the awakening and the awareness that has risen since in post-colonial Africa.
Right.
And people have come to understand that some of the institutions and structures that were created during colonialism to suppress the colonials is now being used by its own government to do the same thing. So it's like stepping into the shoes of the colonialists. But I'm saying we are in Gambia since 2016. We've been living in a situation of false security, if you like. Gambia is going through transition, an incomplete transition. And that has its own ripple effects. The fact that we failed to promulgate a new constitution is a major factor in our current predicament.
Right.
Structurally, and in terms of governance. Because the reason why there are so many lapses in government, and I am saying this cautiously, is because the laws that were meant to be brought in after the departure of the dictatorship didn't come into play. We have, snippets of, new acts of parliament coming in, but the foundation, which is the constitution, failed to pass. And I might add for political reasons. So we are still trying to rationalize that situation where a transition took place but not really take place.
Yeah.
And because of the nature of the transition itself, there was no clear handing over. You know, the transitional justice system and the transitional process generally had been truncated at some point, either whether it's the CRC for the constitution, and you know what happened subsequent to that with all the other stuff and all the commissions. So that transition was not complete. So we were working under a very difficult situation. And therefore there are bound to be, you know, little snippets of problems all around the place. But by and large, it's been 6-7 years, 8 years now since Jammeh.
Yeah.
If we cannot fix our problems in that period, then we are in big trouble for the rest of our lives.
We are. So, and where those that take Gambia's security sector reform?
Yeah, that's another one that has not, quite frankly, in my view, been completely sorted out. Because the presence of foreign soldiers in our country itself tells a big story. That 8 years after the transition, we still have economic. And we have the president guided by our neighbors in Senegal, and our army, the security sector units themselves, are not properly managed. I know a great deal of work and finance and resources had gone into the security sector.
Exactly, and even with the way they handle protesters.
Indeed, and some of the things that should have been coming out would be recommendations and proposals and actually laws that, you know, govern these critical issues and national imperatives. And because of the truncation of that transition, we are still partly in the dictatorship. We are still using his laws, his constitution.
Absolutely.
59 amendments to a constitution that was put to the people in 1996. And by the end of 2016, it was nothing like what the people voted for in that referendum in August of 19.
Yeah. So we're still talking about a lot of things to be fixed. I mean, Mayor Talib Bensouda starts local government commission testimony. This local government commission inquiries, we've seen a lot of people coming and revealing certain things, different financial mismanagement. Sometimes you wonder how were they able to pull this. I mean, the councils, most of the councils failed because of financial mismanagement. So what is this telling us, Mr. Bahum, as a country?
It's a shame, but Gambia had the best opportunity in 2016 to transition from what we knew for 22 years into a totally new system of government. We didn't take advantage of that. And partly that explains why we are where we are. There's near stagnation. We are not inspiring new innovative ideas sufficiently enough, either in terms of governance, in business, in society generally, that will help us go to the next level. I am saying, if we really want to make great progress, we have to get rid of corruption. That's the word many people fear to talk about, but it's a reality, not only in Gambia, across the world, particularly in African countries. And that's not a condemnation. It's a statement of fact. Corruption is ruining Africa, is ruining Gambia, and we need to have a handle around it in order for us to deal with it definitively. You can never get rid of corruption, but that would be the first step. There is a whole lot of wastage as well in government. And sometimes we tend to blame the top, we tend to blame the president, and we tend to blame the vice president and the government per se, the ministers. Yes, their responsibility is primary in this case. But it is also incumbent upon the general public to play their rightful place in ensuring that we have a government that is not totally free of corruption, because we cannot do that, but that it is controlled at a stage, and that the government itself, the laws, the courts, society, and everybody has a part to play in ensuring that happens. It is said that in corruption, it is not only the driver who pays or who bribes somebody. It is the one who collects as well, who takes a bribe. So they are both
liable.
So everybody is liable. And I think that, you know, there is also a whole little deal of wastage, misplaced priorities. Where what is more important today? Is it agriculture? And I'm going to be controversial. Or is it the organization of the OIC? A whole deal of money spent in that one enterprise. And our agricultural production continues to fall annually. Where is money most needed? So that priority, you know, making is lacking in so many respects. In my view, again, in my own opinion.
Yeah. So
I mean, some will argue otherwise.
So what do you think is going to be the solution? Where should we start? I mean, because it's like there are many pieces that are out of place. Where should we start?
It's always been said, if you don't know where you're going,
you go back to where you're from.
Go back to where you're from and start all over again. We cannot continue to pretend that we are in an ideal situation, in an ideal democracy, that our laws are working effectively, that our economy is just stalling, you know, well and everything. But I'll give an example of what happened in Senegal in the late, I think it's around about the 90s, late 90s. They had something called the Assises Nationales. Assises Nationales is a forum of all stakeholders in Senegal who have grievances, who want change, who expect different ways of governance, and everybody that had a stake in the nation was invited to a forum that lasted months.
Wow.
Where before they went into that forum, which was the Open Forum, and if you remember the famed Senegalese Director General of, I think it was one of the UN agencies, Makhtar Mbow, he chaired that event. And all stakeholders were brought in to discuss the fundamentals of their national imperatives. How do we transition Senegal following not only colonialism, but several failed governments? And they came together with government, with political parties, with civil society organizations, with lawyers, with doctors, with everybody, engineers, and say, let's define a way, find a way of redefining or reimagining Senegal. The statue, the Renaissance statue, pretty much came out of that idea of a renewed Senegal, a reimagining Senegal. It may not have cured all their problems, but at least it dealt with certain basic fundamental questions of governance, the law, society, and the economy. And those were, you know, very good markers, if you like.
That's right.
You know, for Senegal to achieve over the period. Now, it's not perfect. These things don't lend themselves to easy resolutions. But at least efforts have been. So Gambia need to look back and see what is wrong with our society and how do we fix it, and fix it definitively, and stop tinkering around the edges. You cannot build a castle in the air.
Absolutely.
You have to have firm foundation on which to build this. And we need Gambians all across the board, everyone, no exception.
Despite your political
No
affiliation.
exception.
But the
together.
unfortunate bit is that the moment you're critical of the government, you're regarded as an opposition, which is the unfortunate bit.
It is. And if you agree, that's why what we have, I will rather define as pseudo-democracy rather than democracy, because I don't know why I have to speak my mind and have against my government and then end up suffering for it in a way that perhaps I don't deserve as a citizen. But I think we need to converge. Gambia needs to get into what some would call national introspection and find out what our problems are. There are many. We don't have to be just brushing them over and saying, no. As a people, and Gambia is rich in so many things. And one of the richest, one of the richest that we have is our human resource.
Yeah.
Capital. They build Gambians build countries around the world. East Timor, from nothing, after a very fratricidal war, East Timor was nothing. It was Gambians who went there and brought it up from the ashes. Sudan. Many Gambians cut their trade in East Timor, building it. From Esafal to Yankuba Sonko, to many people who came back home and were placed in high positions in government for what they have learned as well from that. So it's not that we don't know how to fix things. It's that we haven't taken the time to sit down and identify specifically where we need to, what we need to change and how we're going to have to change it.
Exactly, yes.
So, I think
so thank you very much, Mr. Baum. We've already exhausted the newspaper review time.
Already?
This was a very interesting conversation. And, we hope we will engage you again in the future. I mean, we would like to have this, on several occasions.
Thank you, Mr. Balde, for inviting me. This guy, some people ask me, do you work at QTV? I said no. I have very many good friends there. Yeah, but you can reach me and how to reach me anytime.
Okay, sir.
I have also the pleasure of meeting you for the first time. And I hope this would not be the last.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, viewers, we'll be right back after the break.
Money e Orange Money Johnny weɓini nuldugol mbuɗi mi yetoma joni hiɗa wawi nuldude mbuɗi iwra ko Gambia ɗo yaha Sénégal e Q Money wallet ma on eyyi ko honno wonɗa e fadde mi yetoma udduto Q Money account ma on joni fuɗɗoɗa nuldude mbuɗi e teriɓe ma rewa ɗon ka Orange Money nder Sénégal fi heɓugol hen ko laaɓi hiɗa wawi noddude Q Money customer care e 133 Q Money suñu kalpe ɗum no yaadi e sartaji. Q Money anin Orange Money ye bulodi nyola pour ka kodi kio sone yandi ka bonan Gambia banko kan kata Senegal banko kan anin Q Money wallet e ka mune batu e muna fan Q Money account wala sign pour ka dati ka kodoki e terimal anila dimbayal kana anin Orange Money Senegal ni lafta ku Senegal sotola je Q Money customer care commandi 133 Q Money sunyu kalpe ning sartolle bala.
Q Money and Orange Money has just made money transfer easier. Now you can send money from Gambia to Senegal directly from your Q Money wallet. So what are you waiting for? Get your Q Money account now and start sending money to your friends and families through Orange Money in Senegal now. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Banking the smart way with the new Aji Bank mobile app. Transfer money to any bank account in the Gambia. Top up airtime for all networks. Pay utility bills. Check your account balance and view mini statements. Request for ATM cards. Request for checkbooks and more in a single touch. So, do your banking in a smart way. Do your banking now with Aji Bank mobile app. Every time is banking time. Aji Bank, your investment partner. Q Money ak Orange Money ñoo lëkkaloo pour yombalal leen yónnee xaalis bàyyi ko Gambia dem ba Sénégal ak Q Money wallet looy toog di xaar dawal léegi nga ubbi Q Money account pour nga mun a door di yónnee xaalis sa xarit ak sa mbokk yi jaarale ko Orange Money Sénégal léegi pour am si lu leer mun ngaa call Q Money customer care si 133 Q Money suñu kalpe lii dafa ànd ak sarta yuñ tëral.
We are back. You're watching QTV this morning. I am Ibrahim Balde and I'm with Julden Jai. After the newspaper review with Mr. Bahum, now we move to the other segment of this program, and we have the QCell team in the studios already. We have Amisise, the Senior Marketing Manager for QCell, and Barry, Sales Supervisor, QCell. Gentlemen and lady, welcome to QTV this morning.
Thank you for having us, Balde and Julde. We're happy to be here.
Yes, it's good to have you here. So we'll be talking about QCell. As you know, since the inauguration in 2009, QCell changed the way communication works in this country. I mean, by bringing a lot of services. For those of you who've been with QCell for over 10 years now, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. And quality services, that's what we do. And Amisise and Barry, they are here to enlighten us on that. Yeah, so I mean, let's talk about the QCell network. I mean, QCell is praised to be the biggest in this country. And when it comes to coverage, I mean, we have the widest coverage in this country. How did you manage to achieve that?
Thank you very much, Balde. That's a very important question because I'm sitting here with the right person, actually, because he's the one that actually goes around to launch all the new cell sites. And I think it just depends on what our mission was. When we came into operations in 2009, our mission was basically to provide the best services at the most affordable price and be innovative in the process. If you don't have reach, if you don't have a wide coverage, you cannot offer Gambians what we intended to do. And that's why the focus over the past year and a half was basically to work on the network, to expand the network, and to make sure that there was QCell coverage from Banjul to Koina. And over the past couple of months, we've launched over 150 sites. That's not a small feat. That's
150?
That's a big investment. That's a big amount of money put out there. But in order to make sure Gambians enjoy the quality of this network, we had to do that. And we're proud to say that we do have the biggest network in this country. And this is data that can be verified by Pura as well, because that's our regulator. And there is more to come. We're not stopping at expanding this network. We will make sure that every Gambian gets to enjoy QCell services, regardless of where they're located.
Reliability. I mean, you know, when you talk about widest coverage, the biggest network, you have to also talk about reliability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's key. If you just have the infrastructure there and the network is not reliable, nobody can make use of it. when you're expanding the network, you also have to make sure that you're using the latest technology that's available. And I think when we came in the picture in 2009, that's what we did. Because before QCell came into the picture, internet was very slow paced on the mobiles.
True.
The best technology available in this market at that time was a 2.5 G network. We came in 2009 and came with 3G. And because of that innovation, other operators had to follow suit. And that's what we want. We want to set the pace, we want to set the standards, but we also want everybody else to emulate what QCell is doing in terms of innovation. That has been our motto from the beginning, and that would continue to be ours, as well as offering the most affordable prices. We're here for Gambians, and we'll make sure that Gambians enjoy what is available everywhere else in the world. Yeah.
How do you manage to stand out, and what does it really mean to be the best?
How do we manage to stand out? Offering the best services. We're the first at doing everything. There's no question about whether or not QCell is an innovative company. There's absolutely zero questions about that. We came with the 3G network, the first 3G network in this country. We launched the first 4G network in this country. We launched the first 5G network in this country. We were the first GSM operator to actually offer customers to be able to buy cash power on their mobile phones. The list goes on and on and on and on. I think for us, it's just because we've been focused on what our mission was. We don't keep diverting, you know, all over the place. We're focused on what we want.
Consistency.
Consistency is key in everything that you do, and that has been our focus. We will continue to be the best. I keep telling people, 16 years is not 16 days. It took a number of years to master this craft. Nobody can question what we've done in this country, not just in terms of technology, but in terms of our corporate social responsibility, in terms of how we've changed the way people use the internet, in terms of accessibility. We're here to stay.
Yeah. So before we engage Barry, let's talk about how central is affordability in what you do.
It's key. We all understand how tough the economy is at this moment, not just in Gambia, but everywhere else. And I remember in 2009, 2010, QCell came in and dropped on-net and off-net data tariffs. I think that was the first price war in the telecoms sector ever. And the beauty of it is that every time we do something, others have to follow suit, and at the end of the day, who benefits from it? The customers.
The customers, yeah.
The customers benefit from it. So affordability is key. We don't want to offer services that people cannot afford. As long as it is sustainable, we will make sure that our services are affordable to Gambians and non-Gambians living in this country.
Yes. So Barry, you dalal la si programme bi.
Yes, thank you. I just want to add on what Ami said before going to Wolof. We are also the first to make zero on SIM card.
Free SIM.
Free SIM card.
Yes.
Before we came, SIM card was costing.
Yeah, 50.
Before 50, it was $500.
Before 50, it was $500.
Some even bought $1,000 for $800 for SIM card.
Yeah.
So the coming of QCell in 2009 brought zero, free.
You know, for me, what I cannot understand still, how did you manage being the last GSM operator to come and, you know, getting to that level of being the best in this country? Amisise.
Let me tell you a story. When we started, I remember there was this rumor that QCell would not last because we were the first entrant into this market.
We were given 6 months.
Yes, after 6 months, this company is not going to last. It would fail. That was 16 years ago.
Yep.
We're still standing strong. We're still competitive. And we're affordable. And we're assured that we're here to stay. Why? Again, like I said, we're consistent, we're focused, we're Gambian, and we will ensure that Gambians enjoy everything QCell has to offer.
Exactly. I mean, Gambians enjoy everything QCell has to offer. Barry, nañ la dalal rek nga.
Am na solo.
Waaw nga wax ñu ko ci kala.
Di nuyu ñoo déglu saa su ne di nuyu suñu customers bu baax a baax di leen wax ne rek jàmm ak salaam ñu continuer di liggéey suñu réew. ñu continuer di ko yóbbu. olof ne siiw du jaami borom.
waaw loolu dëgg la.
olof a wax loolu waaye man ma ne.
waaw
siiw jaami borom la si fekkee. sa liggéey ñor na la. ci fekkee li nga wax dëgg la. ci fekkee fi nga teg sa tànk dëgg la. kon siiw dina nekk jaami borom ci wàlla wu ndik li nga def lépp da nga ko teg ci yoon te da nga ko teg ci dëgg.
waaw amul ragal.
amul ragal. biñ dooree 2009 ba léegi suñ kàddu benn la dinañ jub dinañ jubal dinañ liggéey te dinañ daj Gambia te dinañ jox li nga xam ne moom lañ soxla te antan ko.
te ñu ngi téye si suñu bos bi rek.
liñ la abal. ak ci liñ la boole ak ci li nga bokk ak li nga moom du benn.
du benn waaw.
QCell ñoo ko moom réew mi ñoo ko moom day ñëw pour des fi day ñëw pour xubudaas fi origa yi. sax fi saxeet. dafa am luy feesal jàkka. Balde du noo day neex kese de. soo yaakaaree noo day neex kese mooy feesal jàkka kon yaa ngee juum bokk na ci liy feesal jàkka gom julli.
waaw
bugga yàlla néeg bu set imaam bu am xam-xam. imaam bu neex baat. si nodda bokkee.
waaw
jumaa ji fees
bokk na jeex na tak.
li ñoo wax Gambia mooy. ak li ñoo wax réew mi mooy su suñ liggéey. si suñ liggéey. incha allah naxe du ci am. ñii coow ci buntu teen bi ñii amul baag la. waaye boo amee baag rotal rek dem. jarul coow. nañ bokkal liggéey bi te ñu dalal ko ñun ñëpp ñu dem ku mun na def.
waaw
waaye ñun QCell mun nañ te ñun QCell bugga nañ te ñun QCell fànn nañ Gambia moo tax ñuy dem ba Gambia daj. téeméer ak juróom fukki antenne ci fukki weer ak ñeneent.
loolu man musuma koo dégg.
téeméer ak juróom fukki antenne. 150.
waaw
ci 14 months.
te xam nga lu ma jaaxal sax dafa am dëkk yoo xam ne dama fa dee dem ma fekk dëkk bu ndaw la waaye QCell antenne mu ngi si biir dëkk
ju wér.
doo leen seet population bi ndax 50 la o 100 la o 1000 la waaye dañ leen a defal antenne pour ngeen am network kon suñu bos bi mu ngee dem de.
am na solo te mu ngee dem.
ak customer feedback.
ak customer
parce que
feedback
moom xam na loolu. saa yu nekk dinañ toog am benn village bu ñëw. all the way from the village. ba ci head office bi.
ndeysaan
wala ñu bindal leetar.
waaw
ne ñu dimbale leen ñu. fii amuñ site. su ko defee ñu jël loolu into consideration. ñi war a toog discuss ko ñu def li ñu war a def.
maa ngi fàttali ko benn di kibiri.
waaw
kibiri ndeysaan bi ñu bindee. ñu ñëw fii ñoom juróom-ñaari booy ñoom 7. mu yoon lu daw yaram bés boobu ci man bi ma leen gisee ak seeni leetar. ñu def suñ kéemtalaay kàttan ñu bëggoon 4G ñu yóbbul leen 4G nekk dañ bëggoon online TV dañ bëggoon online li nga xam ne seen nit ñi nekk ci diaspora bi. mun a waxtaan ak ñoom. waaye QCell def seen kéemtalaay kàttan ba jox leen loola. ba tey macha allah kibiri ñu ngi ci kaw tey ñu ngi wax ak ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi ci diaspora bi.
ndeysaan
Medina sama ko tam noonu.
waaw
dañ daan ñëw base week ak week. pour uyu si international call wax ak seen i am di jàmbur yi. ñi nga xam ne seen jëkkër yaa ngi bitim réew.
waaw
waaye biñ ñu bindee musuma gis tertu bu ñu Medina sama ko tertu musuma koo gis ci juróom benni at yi ma dem sell site launching yëpp ci biir réew mi.
waaw
Medina sama ko was exceptional. te macha allah jigéen a ko jiite. VDC chairman bi jigéen la.
moo tax lépp sotti.
yëpp sotti.
ndeysaan
ndaw soosu noonu. mu nekk bés boo xam ne mbégte la ci moom. mu nekk bés boo xam ne mbégte la ci waa Kibiri naka waa Medina Samako. diaspora bi yëpp di kool fu mu nekk dematuñ base ñu nga toog seen Medina Samako wuyu seen i am di jàmm yi waxa seen i waajur yi. jokkalante ak ñoom nemmeeku wante ak ñoom. kon nag nekk ab QCell ci réew mi chance la mérite la
du chance. dëgg la am na solo lool viewers you're watching QTV this morning and we're talking about QCell. As you know, QCell is I mean we have to call QCell the national GSM operator. xam nga last time waxoon naa ko.
mooy dëgg
ma ne moom mooy bu Gambia. ñoo ko moom suñ bos la. so waaw so moom moo nekk di represent Gambia. so lu ñoo def mooy. ba léegi rek ami nañ waxtaan affaire yi 5G bi gis nañ ne 5G bi wër na Greater Banjul bi de 5G bi ba pare na ngeen plan pour yóbbu ko tam si dex yi.
Wow. Again, 5GB was launched 2 years ago. And being called launch, then just start with few sites, just full test network. After 6 months of launching it, we expanded the reach of the 5G network. And lima de wax nit ñi foog nga test ko nga mun koo gëm. I am here in the head office. My phone is linked to the 5G. Luckily for me, suma kër I have 5G. It is not the same. The speed is faster. You get to download movies, enjoy, stream, def li nga def at a faster speed. And there's a lot of countries yoo xam ne ben tey balde amuñ 5G network. And the investment it requires, foog naa loolu la nit ñi dee faate. The infrastructure and the investment that is required pour deploy network yi du mbiri caaxaan. Du ne da nga ko bugg a def rek da nga koo def.
nga def ko waaw.
Foog mu jaral la lu bari. And the reason we invested into this is just to make sure kenn du toog Gambie ne mënuma am lii mënuma am lele. Te foog naa ne loolu moo dee nekk li ñu de gën a push all the time pour ñuy xool lan lañ mun a def lan lañ fi mun a indi loo xam ne amu fi. Because su ñëpp defee the same thing kon market bi du interested in the value. Wow.
So in that case, waxoon nga si gannaaw tuuti ne about consistency and sustainability. In that case, QCell naka la dee mun a balance affordability and quality services for Gambians?
Julde, gis nga few weeks ago when we reduced these data tariffs, usually you hear customers saying, oh, GSM operators here are making so much money, maybe they don't exploit users. That's not the case. And I just wish ñëpp xamoon nañ what is behind the scene. Am na yoo xam ne sax doo ko di mun a wax in general. But GSM industry bu share la. There's a lot of things that come into play. There's a lot of fees we pay. You know, there's a lot of levies on top of GSM operators as well. But when we did it, we did our math. And we knew we were not going to make money from it. But what we did was we wanted Gambians, because for the longest time they've been saying data should be cheaper than what it is. And we listened, and that's what we did. And when we did it, every operator would tell you that for us at QCell, we know that we were not making money from it. But still, we were ready to foot it, because we want Gambians to at least spend less, because xam nañ naka la dëkk bi métti, naka la economy bi métti ak yooyu. So it's not it's always profit that I make when you're into this industry. But we look at the bigger picture. Te foog naa li ñu de gën a push mooy the suñu boss concept lim doon wax. It is for Gambians, by Gambians, and every penny that is made from this company stays in this country. Can't go anywhere else.
True. To justify that, gis nañ ne tam SMS Plus bi léegi wait $1 si.
Waaw.
Nga am 250 SMS. Waaw. Loolu man bu ma ko gisee dama waaru.
Mun nga remember biñ launché SMS Plus.
Wow, SMS Plus bi.
Again, the first person to launch it. Ñun luñ def rek ñeneen ñi topp moo tax suñ slogan bi says we innovate.
Waaw,
others follow.
te gis naa ñoo xam ne sax ñu ngi bugg a wàññi seen SMS yi ñoom tam.
Waaw.
waaye ñun fekk wàññi nañ bu yàgg.
Bale soo xoolee
$1 250 SMS ami.
loolu giveaway la. loolu nit mun na see make profit Balde.
$1 man loolu.
loolu kenn mun na see make profit. Ba pare soo seetee all the services in this industry, telecoms industry bi, Balde, I can happily say ne at least 80% of it came from QCell in terms of kan moo ko fi njëkk a introduce. We keep thinking ahead. We keep looking at what is available elsewhere. Lan la Gambians si soxla. And based on that, we bring in those new services. Te am na yeneen yu ñëw yoo xam ne mënaguma ko disclose. Loo xam ne would change the market, change industry bi. Not just telco customers, but Gambians in general. So just stay tuned.
We also have
And not just that,
Yeah.
QCell, I think it's the only GSM company that takes its social corporate responsibility seriously.
Very seriously.
Yeah.
Very
Aside from-
seriously. Initiatives in for the fear can mënut a toog sa di ko lim. But we're very proud ne ñun also, Julde, it's because we're focused on certain industries as well. We're not all over the place. Xam nañ li ñoo def, gëm nañ li ñoo def, so moo tax ñu focus on certain areas. Ñun, we have a MOU with the Ministry of Basic Education. We have another one with the Ministry of Sports. So Sete Balde knows, QSpell it, everybody knows. I think you, the young generation,
Wow.
SIM cards. We were the first to do that partnership.
Wow.
And we're still open to more partnerships with the ministry. you know, scholarships in your job for university students. You look at sporting complexes in nekk si biir dëkk bi yi ci ëpp yépp seen nawetaan bi he knows.
Wow.
QCell ñoo ko dee sponsor. Du Banjul, du Basse, du Soma, du Birkama, du Gunjur, Greater Banjul, up country, everywhere. We sponsor their nawetans. We help with other initiatives. We're very focused on what we do. And then they buga lo hamne ñun buguñ luñ def ben nit njëriñoo si. So we're more about community outreach. Dañ dee buga ñu bari njëriñoo si. So lolo ta ñu continue di focus on those things.
gis nañ tam on social corporate responsibilities gis nañ yu bari yu ñoo def gis nañ kiw ndogu you know ndogu bi moom loolu ñëpp xam nañ ne boobu moom QCell
suñ signature
loolu moom QCell moom fa
boobu suñ bos la
léegi gis nañ di Quranic competition
suñ bos la moom itamit
gis nañ léegi azan competition yokka nañ ko si loolu yëpp loo xam ne la QCell mu ngi delloo njukkal dina nit ñi ne jërë ngeen jëf amee nañ waxtaan free Sunday call bi am na ñoo xam ne dañ foogoon ne loolu for some time la rek ñu génne ko waaye free call bi ba léegi nit yaa ngi ko enjoy te yëpp free la QCell gis nañ ne no subscription no hidden fees nothing
ku ñeme na def not so
ku ñeme na def
ku ñeme na def
but free weekend call bi has been running for a number of weeks now. No subscription comme ni nga ko waxee.
Wow.
No hidden charges. Laajuñ la dara. Amal QCell line Sunday from
wow. In
midnight.
fact, 12 midnight ngay start.
Ba midnight
call ba midnight.
You can enjoy free calls. Laajuñ la dara. Amuloo pour fay dara. Amuloo pour subscribe to anything. ñoo ko sañ. ñoo ko fi def.
Wow.
ku ñeme na def.
Waaw ku ñeme na def. ku ñeme na def. We innovate others for. Yeah, so bari.
li borom di soxla rek mooy number 3 ak number 5.
Waaw.
te ñu ngi la wax ne doo ko jënda. dañu nga dem si branch bi rek ñu jox la ko. ñu may la ko nga génne sa ID card sa voters card driving license loo am rek nga utaaleel sa am di jàmm yi nga utaaleel sa xarit nga utaaleel famille bi nga utaaleel ñëpp. ndax dimanche nga mun a toog am sa free calls. am na solo suñ bonus tamit noonu 75% of di nga jënd ci crédit ñu delloo la ko macha allah.
75%.
waaw te bonus bi mun nga koo use nga call si browse si internet.
yëpp daa def.
Call SMS internet.
waaw mun nga
the
ko
only GSM operator.
waaw
that gives you that liberty.
waaw
ngay jënd crédit ñu may la bonus nga call ci send si SMS bi. use internet bi. only GSM operator.
imagine bonus
one stop shop yëpp ci QCell. one stop shop lépp loo soxla mu ngi fi. ba pare li nga def. sa réew nga koo defal fii nga koo defal dara dërëm génnul gaal gi oliga yi fii lañ ko cuuyee fii lañ ko benn ci ne fii lañ ko mbaxalee demul fenn laa la wax. ñun jënduñ CFA ñun jënduñ euro jënduñ dollar jënduñ dara. yëpp dalasi la fii la toog kon nag defal sa bopp la. romba QCell romba sa njëriñ.
waaw loolooy dëgga gis nañ ne tam jënda power boobu ñun ñoo ko change ci réew mi time boobu
sa crédit
ñun gis nañ ne luñ doon struggle time mi xale dañoo jël paper bi ñu daw ba nawet Latrikunda ñu dem jëndi cash power waaye léegi da ngaa toog sa biir kër
xaw ma suma meter number bi
kan ñu
yaa ngi ko save yëpp sa phone bi rek
da ngaa jënd rek mu dem
waaw
so loolu la mu ngi mel ni comme na ko waxee am QCell mérite la waaw loolu kenn waru koo lifin kan ñu imagine nga nekk nga amee phone amul QCell line loolu nu mel
yaa ñàkka
loolu da ngaa ñàkka yu bëri so thank you very much Ami for coming on the program.
What are we expecting in few days, few weeks? Innovation on always QCell is coming with new innovations and all that. So what are we to expect?
Stay tuned.
No, bul wax bu baax de. Bul wax bu baax de.
daf ma bëgg a gas.
Du ci jëlee dara gas bul wax.
Ba ñëw umba bi rek. Ba ñëw umba bi ñuy firi nanka.
Bàyyi ko fa rek.
Nañ taal seen phone yi ba pare toog seetaat liñ xaar.
Nañ xaar rek. So thank you very much. Viewers, we'll take a short break. After the break, the program continues. We'll be back.
Gambia's leader in optical care with 5 locations offering the best in visual health. With cutting-edge European technology, Opticalia delivers single vision lenses in just 20 minutes. At Opticalia, we care about our future. Eye exams are free for individuals under 18, ensuring everyone has access to quality eye care. But it's not just about vision. Opticalia also provides advanced audiology services to ensure your hearing health is in the best hands. Our audiology services offer European standard hearing aids and diagnostics, ensuring everyone can hear clearly. Whether it's testing or treatment, you can trust Opticalia for your auditory care. Opticalia offers European standard products, fair prices, and exceptional value all under one roof. Visit Opticalia at the Tropic Shopping Center near Senegambia or call us on 7767-121 or any of our regional branches. Banjul 7767-126, Brikama 7767-123, Fadafenyi 7767-124, Basse 7767-125. Opticalia, love what you see and hear.
Q Money and Orange Money has just made money transfer easier. Now you can send money from Gambia to Senegal directly from your Q Money wallet. So what are you waiting for? Get your Q Money account now and start sending money to your friends and families through Orange Money in Senegal now. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Do your banking the smart way with the new Ajibank mobile app. Transfer money to any bank account in the Gambia. Top up airtime for all networks. Pay utility bills. Check your account balance and view mini statements. Request for ATM cards. Request for checkbooks and more in a single touch. So, do your banking in a smart way. Do your banking now with Ajibank mobile app. Every time is banking time. Ajibank, your investment partner. Q Money ak Orange Money ñoo lëkkaloo pour yombalal leen yónnee xaalis bàyyi ko Gambia dem ba Sénégal ak Q Money wallet looy toog di xaar dawal léegi nga ubbi Q Money account pour nga mun a door di yónnee xaalis sa xarit ak sa mbokk yi jaarale ko Orange Money Sénégal léegi pour am si lu leer mun nga call Q Money customer care si 133 Q Money suñu kalpe lii dafa ànd ak sarta yuñ tëral.
We're back. You're watching QTV this morning. Now let's move to the last segment of this program, and we'll be talking to Core Africa. I hope I got that name right. Yeah. Yes. So I've been saying Core Africa all the time.
I think Core Africa.
Oh,
we get that all the time.
Oh, you get
everybody else is Core Africa.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So we have a gentleman and a lady here. Please tell us who you are, your position, and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm Maria Masanyang, and I've been here before again. I am the communications officer for Core Africa Gambia. Core Africa Gambia is an international organization that is stationed all around Africa that recruits young Africans to serve in their communities and beyond, mostly local vulnerable communities.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Balde. I am Boubacar Diallo. I was lucky to serve in the first cohort of volunteers in Core Africa Gambia, and currently I am assisting the M&E department.
Yeah. So let's start with you. Briefly, can you give us a brief explanation of what Core Africa stands for?
So basically, when you think Core Africa, the first thing is community-led development and youth. That is recruiting youth to be the forefront in leading the change that is desired in our local communities and helping them, facilitating the process for the communities to realize that they have the power to solve their own problems. So that's basically what Core Africa is all about. I believe as we go on, we'll delve into more.
So I mean, let's try to break this into pieces. I mean, let's talk about the inception. From inception, is there the need for this organization to come, or is there a particular instance that you realize, okay, I think we need to do something
Yeah.
about this.
Yeah, there is a need for it because as the concept is all over, the whole thing about Core Africa is like taking the volunteers, taking them to the communities and them staying in the communities to know their problems and eventually come up with projects. So what have been happening all the time is you see most of the vulnerable communities in the rural areas always are having projects, but they're not sustainable. And you keep wondering, what is the problem? So where Core Africa comes in is identifying that problem and knowing, okay, the problem here is always a sustainability issue.
Right.
So now the approach is where it comes in. When we bring the volunteers, they live with the communities. They don't tell the communities, do this because I think it's right. They tell the communities, what do you think you need? And they have approaches and methods in place and trainings and facilitations in place that will make these communities realize this is what we need, not this is what we want. And eventually they identify those priorities and train them. So in a case that even the volunteers leave the place, the communities will always be in a position to guard that project, grow with it, and eventually know that, yeah, the true change we really need in this place is more than just a volunteer, it's us. And it takes our volunteer being there for a year and showing them the ropes to realize their real true strength.
So I hope it's not going to be a duplication of effort. We have volunteers too. How is Core Africa different from other volunteer groups?
Core Africa is different because we use human-centered design. Our volunteers are trained. They're trained in a way, there are things instilled in them, human-centered design approaches, and these approaches is what they use. Now, I'm not coming for other volunteer groups, but we have morals in place, we have technicalities in place. The volunteers that go into the field know what they're doing, and they are trained on it, and this is the 5 different kind of trainings we have in the year, beginning with the pre-service training, of course. So yeah, I would say that is the difference between our volunteers and other volunteer groups that you have there.
So, Mr. Jallo, how does it feel to be a Core Africa volunteer?
Yeah, I think it's one of the best things that can happen to someone because, like the communication officer said, one thing about Core Africa, we serve the communities. Like the community comes first, then we as the volunteers, we follow. We are just there to facilitate their development. And we also have this approach called the asset-based community development, using the assets that are based in the community to develop the community. I think this is an approach that a lot of people should consider when going into community development. So being a Core Africa volunteer, it's one of the best things that can happen to a person, and it makes you become the best version of yourself.
How does it make you the best version of yourself?
Yeah, because like
What changed?
Like I said, you go to a particular community, example, a rural community. You go there not to lead the community, but to serve and to learn. And some of the things that you learn from the community will go a long way into shaping you into becoming the person you want to be. It's like you're going to community to learn wisdom, knowledge, and then, with the community members, they are going to train, they are going to mold you, and they are going to make you a person that listens, that is ready to serve, and then you must have that empathy at heart to serve those people.
What really stood out for you during the course of your volunteerism in these communities?
Yeah, I think engaging with the community members. When I was in town, I always have this belief that, the community members, like, they're up there and I'm here. So sometimes I think we are better than them. But when we went to these communities, we understand those people are really, really the people we want to be. Like, engaging with the community members is one of the best things that happens to me, because not only did I serve in the community, but I learned a lot from those community members.
So, coming back to you, Mariama, talk to us about some of the activities that Core Africa was able to roll out in these communities since you started operations.
Yeah. If you're talking about the projects, because as far as projects is concerned, I think the last time I mentioned that water, if you look at it, it's one of the significant challenges in the Gambia. So in our previous cohort, which is their cohort, there was about 60% of the projects was water, borehole, tap, rehabilitation. In fact, one of our most successful projects is the garden, where the women needed water. That now we have 23 volunteers presently in their communities, and the pitch day happened, of course, wherein they identified their projects. We have bridges part of those communities, like projects. Yeah, we have classroom structures, we have hospital post renovations. So we have water again, we have gardens, we have a lot, and it's diverse because it's 23. And these are needs, like I mentioned before, based on our approach, that are identified by the communities.
Yeah, so who is eligible to be a volunteer?
Yes, so for our eligibility criteria, we have 21 years and above, and also a little clarification, a degree.
What is above? 21 years to above.
The youth age.
I want to know if I am still youth.
Well, you can come on board. We can take you.
I just want to know because I'm getting old now. I'm growing.
So we're looking at the youth age, and I believe in the Gambia, the youth age is 33 maximum. 35. Yeah, so that
I'm no more youth.
that would be 21 to 35, of course, because we do have people there that are that age currently serving in the cohort, and then have at least a degree or equivalent diploma from any tertiary institution. So we're looking at college, we're looking at Hadigalas, we're looking at all the other tertiary institutions. If you feel like you have the relevant skills as well, and if you feel like you are motivated and willing to serve, because it takes a lot to go to a place for 1 year and say you truly want to serve and make a change in a specific community. So we are looking for you if you
So what are,
So does it,
go
doesn't
ahead,
mean that you have to be an expert. For instance, if you water, you need boreholes. Do you need experts who can dig boreholes and all of that? What are you specifically looking for in a volunteer? Yes.
No, we don't need the volunteers to be an expert. The borehole part obviously comes from the services we will, acquire. The volunteer, like I said, when they come into Core Africa, we have 5 series of trainings in the year. And then the first one is the pre-service training. So we basically we mold the volunteers through the process. We instill the process in you. What we need is for you to have the basics. Know how to read, know how to write, because eventually at the end of your service, you're going to be a certified project coordinator, a certified project facilitator who is writing reports, who has done the budgeting, who has done the finances, everything. Yeah.
So let's talk about the projects that are already implemented in other communities by Core Africa.
Yep.
And what are some of the projects?
Some of the projects, like we have the borehole tap rehabilitation in Dauphin, which is very successful. And then we have the Tankular project garden for women.
That's in Kiang.
That's in Kiang, LRR, which is serving over numerous women that are in turn impacting their families because you're taking care of their families. So it's a lot. We have his project in Santanto, Nyakwe, and then Nyakwe Tebatu. Yeah, he's in Nyakwe Tebatu.
Oh, you are in Nyakwe, okay.
Yeah, and then we have Santanto Bubu, wherein there's a market structure and also a borehole. So Core Africa is doing a lot, and this is, where we always emphasize on companies exploring the social corporate responsibility with us to help and support these causes that we're doing.
So how about
are you in all the regions of the Gambia?
We're in all. We're even in West Coast this time. Yeah, in Kanjipat we have our Moroccan volunteer there who is an exchange volunteer. He's from Morocco. He can even now speak some Jola. Yeah, so it's a lot. We have West Coast region everywhere. We're everywhere.
So what about the welfare of your volunteers?
The welfare of our volunteers. Of course, Core Africa, it's a reputable organization. We do have stipend in place for our volunteers. And then we have people called the volunteer liaison officers that are responsible for the welfare of the volunteers. So every process you see is calculated. Even our trainings, we stay with the volunteers for a period of 6 weeks sometimes 2 weeks, train with them, provide everything basic they need to make sure that they are comfortable. We do that.
So Babukar, looking back now, what were some of your biggest challenges to overcome in your host communities?
Yeah, I think basically the first weeks in my community was a bit difficult because I was a total stranger. Though in the Gambia we are all the same, but I can say the biggest challenge was bringing the community members together, like during community meetings, because some of these communities, they have their differences. But as a volunteer,
Which community was that?
Nyakoi Table
Oh, Nyakoi, yeah.
Nyakoi in URR, in Wuli. Yeah, so some of these communities, they have their differences, but as a volunteer, you're there to work for everybody in the community. You need to bring everyone together. So basically, as time goes on, we overcame that challenge of bringing people together for meetings and everything, because I think a lot of projects do go to those communities, like White Elephant projects, where people just sit here, discuss about the project and take it to them without asking those people if they need that. So sometimes when you call them for meeting, they will still think, okay, it's the same thing. Like, but I think as time goes on, they understand Core Africa has a different approach. We were able to bring them together, and alhamdulillah, we implemented a project there which was successful, and then currently the whole community is benefiting from the garden project.
You did mention that there are a lot of projects in those communities that are white elephant, expensive or useless. That is just the case. But again, how were you able to actually deal with resistance? Obviously, there will be resistance for the fact that a lot of other projects and organizations have been going there, maybe doing the same thing, and it's not yielding anything for them.
Yeah, I think what worked for us as volunteers is to be part of the community. We didn't consider ourselves outsiders. For example, if I understand this person is not coming to our meetings, I make sure I reach out to that person. I need to know why they are not coming for meetings, and I need to make them understand I'm still their family member. So if any day I am in a gathering, they should be there because we're the same family. And I think that approach works for us because like the community members got used to us to an extent. Even if we don't call for meetings, they ask us when are we having meetings, which was a success because sometimes you see people that don't attend meetings, and at the end of the day, they're asking you when are we having meetings. I think that's a success.
It is, it is. So in terms of, speaking of transparency, accountability, how do you ensure that at Core Africa, the funds that are given for a particular project actually goes to that project and not deviated to something else?
Okay, and one thing about Core Africa, the funds, they don't come to the office directly. We have this thing wherein we have community contribution of 25%, and that's one thing I will highlight that supports our sustainability goals. Because if somebody knows, like my money is going into this and I'm part of this, it's now my own. We give them that autonomy. So the funds do not come to us directly, it goes. The volunteer sends the project cost, what is needed, everything. We shop the things directly from where they're supposed to be bought from. And that's my favorite thing about Core Africa. We don't see the money. It goes to the communities.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. They don't see the money, it goes to the community.
So the third cohort, Balde, let's talk about that. I think applications are open for
applications are currently open for 2 weeks now. And so far, I think it's about 300 plus applications, which is almost double. Because last time...
I don't stand a chance.
You do. I could consider you.
300.
I could consider her. Okay. She does. But yeah, so last year, in the second batch, we had 222 applicants altogether for a month. This time, just 2 weeks is 300 already. And it's going because we're closing 14th September. And we just need 40 volunteers. So it is going to be it is going to be competitive. That actually speaks how quality Core Africa is, because it doesn't just stop at the volunteering, you serving the community, even though that's a beautiful thing. It goes beyond. It goes beyond, like, he's a living proof. He's done serving us. He's now working with us as an intern with 3 other volunteers from his cohort that is working with us again.
So how long should a person serve as a volunteer?
It's just 10 months. 2 months of training and 10 months of service.
It's like a year.
A year.
Okay. All right. Nice. Yeah. So finally,
perhaps Mansumanyo, I think it will be about advocacy, community awareness, and all of that.
You also stay in the community.
Yes, I will stay there. But just take me to Base.
They should take you to your village.
Yes, take me to my village.
She can't choose. She can't choose.
So
no, that's not part of it.
You don't choose. You just take you anywhere.
Yeah, you don't choose. We do the whole thing for you, and then you go to a community. You even learn their languages as a Gambian.
We don't consider. We just.
I am loving
If you
this.
take me to a Jola community or a Sarahule community, I live there for 5 years, I won't learn their language. I cannot.
You will.
Jola is very difficult. Sarahule is a very difficult language to hear.
As far as Co-Africa is concerned,
Yes.
how will you conduct your community meetings? You have to speak to them.
Yes.
Well,
You
that
will
is the
learn.
problem.
Have to
That is
belong.
the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you very much for coming.
Thank
and
you.
we hope to engage you more in
Thank
the
you.
future.
Thank you.
Do not hesitate to contact us
Definitely.
for any projects. I mean, we would be happy. I mean, make sure you don't forget QTV too on some of your projects. We are available for business as well.
Oh, we want the social corporate responsibilities, so we'll be able to fund our projects.
Oh, yeah.
So what does QCell have to say about that?
We'll talk about that later. Yeah, so, I mean, thank you very much, Julia. This is all we have.
Yes, until we come your way tomorrow for another edition of QTV this morning.
Yes, bye-bye.
Opticalia, Gambia's leader in optical care with 5 locations offering the best in visual health. With cutting-edge European technology, Opticalia delivers single vision lenses in just 20 minutes. At Opticalia, we care about our future. Eye exams are free for individuals under 18, ensuring everyone has access to quality eye care. But it's not just about vision. Opticalia also provides advanced audiology services to ensure your hearing health is in the best hands. Our audiology services offer European standard hearing aids and diagnostics, ensuring everyone can hear clearly. Whether it's testing or treatment, you can trust Opticalia for your auditory care. Opticalia offers European standard products, fair prices, and exceptional value all under one roof. Visit Opticalia at the Tropic Shopping Center near Senegambia or call us on 7767-121 or at any of our regional branches. Banjul 7767-126, Brikama 7767-123, Farafenni 7767-124, Basse 7767-125. Opticalia, love what you see and hear.